Okay. On national trade, national income, public finance. What is it? Yeah, I think that is three things. National trade, public finance. National income. Three things. Many of them. Four. Six. Seven.
All right. Hello. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
All right. All right. Sorry, I didn't know I was muted. Okay. So that means you didn't hear what I was saying about these things.
We didn't hear anything.
Oh, okay. Then let me just take it again. All right. Okay. So I said that I'm going to demonstrate to you how we use operators, right? So you're going to write a simple program that performs age calculation, right? So let's call this age calculator. Now, you see what I've written here, we call it a comment, okay? Anytime you start a code, anything in code using hash, the pound sign in Python, we call it the comment, okay? So technically, this is just an explanation or some random thought or something I want to put in my code to remind me of something. Okay, so they are just comments. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a program that takes somebody's year of birth and compute the person's age. So let's create something called a variable. We'll call it year of birth. I will explain variables in a few minutes. Year of birth, and then we will do this. We call the input method and input function and say enter your, let me get this guy from here. Why am I not getting a video feed? What is happening? Okay, sorry for that. Okay, so today my setup is really messing up. Okay, so enter your year of birth, right? Your year of birth. Okay, so I expect the person to enter something. When the person enters that year of birth, I will save it in the computer's memory and call it year of birth. Is that okay? Then I can calculate the person's age. How do we calculate age when you know the year? How do we calculate age when you know the year? Yes.
Subtract it from 2022.
Okay, so there's current year, right? So the current year is 2022. we subtract year of birth from it. That means we now have the person's age. Now let's print it back to the person, say that, hey, you are, and then we put age. Now, you see here, I'm putting age here because now the computer knows something called age. So instead of printing AGE, it will rather replace this with the number. I'll talk about these things very soon, but for now, just enjoy what we are doing. You are so years old, right? Good. So now we are done. We come to our console and we run the program called the Python interpreter and pass it the file. So you see that the file we are passing is hello.py, and that is the script or the file containing our source code, right? Now, if I hit enter, it asks it enter your year of birth, which is coming from here. Is that okay? So if I input 2000, then it takes it, subtract 2000 from 2022, which gives us what? 22. And now it prints, hey, you are 22 years old, right? So we take data and we perform the mathematical operation on it to get another data. You get a point. So what we've done is we transformed or we've operated on the data using a mathematical operator. Okay. Now let us look at the mathematical operators that we have in Python. It's actually the same as we have in mathematics. So in maths, we have the arithmetic operators, we have relational operators, and then we have logical operators, right? Then, so let's look at arithmetic operators. What are the arithmetic operators you know? What are the arithmetic operators you know?
Multiplication, addition.
Okay, so you know of multiplication. Now, in programming or in Python, we use the star to represent multiplication. We use the forward slash to represent division. Subtraction is the same symbol. Addition is the same symbol. However, in programming, there is a fifth operator, which is not very common in mathematics, but it is a concept in mathematics, called the modulus or remainder operator, and we represent that by the percentage sign. Okay, so if you see percentage sign in Python, it is not percentage as we have in Python in mathematics, but it represents modulo. Okay, call it the modulo or remainder operator. Okay, now we will use it soon. So let's look at how we can use these arithmetic operators. Okay, so for instance, if I have two numbers, let's actually switch to the interpreter. So I can add two numbers, so something like 3 plus 2, and that will give me 5, right? I can do 67 minus 9. I can do 89 divided by 9. I can do 87 times 3, okay? So just as you do in mathematics, okay? Now, the one that I want to talk about is the remainder operator. You see, if I perform division operation, anytime you are performing an operation, okay, we have something called operand, operator, operand and operator. The operands represent the values that you are working on, and the operator is the operator performing, is what is performing the transformation or the transformation that you are performing on those values. Okay, so if we take the remainder operator, for instance, if I give you 3 modulo 2, what this means is that if I divide 3 by 2, right, what will be the remainder? That's why we call it the remainder operator. If I divide 3 by 2, what will be the remainder? So what would this be?
1.
1, right? Let's take again. If I divide 4 by 2, what will be the remainder?
0.
0. Okay, so that's the remainder operator. Let's take one more. If I divide 5 by 3, what will I get? That's a remainder.
2.
2. Is that okay? Now, finally, tell me, if I divide 2 by 4, what will I get as a remainder?
0.
Are you
2.
sure?
You get half.
Is it
If I divide 2
2?
by 4, so I'll get 2. Okay. Now, if you remember mixed fractions, this would be written as 0 whole number 2 over 4 or something like that. Okay, something like that. Okay. So if I divide, you see, 2, when I divide 2 by 4, there will be a remainder of 2 because 4 cannot divide 2. Do you get a point? So it will be 0 times remainder what? 2. So take note of that. So when we use the modulo operator, that is what we are trying to do. The modulo operator retains the, what do we call it? The remainder of a division operation. Is that okay? So tell me, what would this be? 33 mod 33.
0.
0. Please, do you understand it? Okay. Now, so now that you know how to use division, multiplication, and addition, all this, tell me what would, without using a calculator, hey, today our session is running very fast. Without using a calculator, tell me the answer for this. So 3, no, let me make it 4 divided by 2 plus 5 modulo 3 minus 8 times 2. Yeah, tell me what would be the answer for this. Calculate it. Okay, don't use a calculator of any kind. Just apply your own mathematics and tell me the answer, what you think the answer would be for this.
-15.
Negative 15. Okay, are we all getting negative 15? Please make sure you are not using the computer or calculator, okay? Are you all getting negative 15? Is there any different answer or we all agree to the answer? Hello, any other answers? Hello, any other answers? We have negative 15. Ebenezer, any other answer? Hills, Freddy, any other answers? Okay, so let's see if that is true. So I'm going to punch it in my interpreter. 4 divided by 2 plus 5 modulo 3 is what?
Okay, I think I had 12.
You had 12. Okay, so we have negative 15, we have 12. Any other?
Negative.
Okay. Nick, is there a different answer? Okay, so let's see what Python says, right? Oh, sorry. 2. Okay, so somebody said minus 12. Somebody said negative 15. Somebody said 12. So that means we didn't get a correct answer, right? Yeah.
Okay, this Ebenezer had minus 15.
You had minus 15.
Minus
So
15.0.
let me make sure I point the right thing. So
We are using board mass. You don't know which direction this modulo operator will come, whether it will come first or it comes second. That's where the confusion is.
Okay, so fantastic. So that is why I gave you this exercise, okay? Now, when you have something like this, we call this a mixed expression. A mixed expression, okay? The computer has to adopt a means to solve this. In mathematics, we call it board maths, right? And unfortunately, we don't have a modulo as part of the board maths. So that means your mathematics will cover it here, okay? But in programming, we call something the order of precedence. Order of what? Precedence, okay? Now, order of precedence has to do with which operator should you evaluate first? Which operator should you what? Evaluate first. Now, let me give you an analogy. Let's say that you are in charge of a program, an event, and in that event, you are expecting the president of Ghana, you are expecting the vice president, you are expecting a minister, you are expecting your MP, and you are expecting your assemblyman, right? Good. Now you have 5 hotel rooms reserved for these people. Unfortunately, you couldn't reserve a deluxe, like the best. You couldn't get the best. All the rooms are not like the top quality that hotel can get. You got one best in that order. So a deluxe, and then the final one becomes the normal hotel suite, right? If you are the event planner, right? How are you going to apportion these rooms to the people, to your guests who are coming? We have just 4 minutes, so let's use it to analyze this analogy before we continue. Yes, if I am the event planner, you have 5 rooms which are good. So in that order, room 5 is the best, followed by 4, 3, 2. The room 1 is the normal room. Now you're expecting the president, the vice president, a minister, MP, and then so let's even make it 4: president, vice president, MP, and then assemblyman, right? How are you going to dash out the rooms? Tell me something. If you are assuming you are the event plan.
All right, sir.
Yeah.
Okay. What I'll do is that I'll give the best room to the president.
You give the best room to the president?
Yeah, to the president.
Why?
Because at least they're looking at the personality, just like all high kakra.
Okay, so what if the assemblyman comes first?
Even if the assemblyman comes first, I will try and reserve the best room for the president.
Okay. All right. Any other? Any? The best to the president. Why?
Because in everything, I look at what I will get from it. So the president has a higher chance of granting bigger wishes than the assemblyman.
Okay. So you see that in this particular case, right? You are going to dash out the rooms according to their status. Is that okay? So it's a similar thing that we mean when we talk of order of precedence in programming. So I'm going to end this section. Let's continue in the last session for today.